Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now today, the vetting of CS designate is going on, and of course, they will be winding this process on Monday. So Monday is the last day for vetting, and I think the Parliament will also have their say on this. In case if they will agree with this committee, or if they don't agree, of course they will go ahead and vote. What I have seen today has surprised me on the kind of interview Mithika Linturi has faced. And actually this has justified the headline that was published yesterday in Taifa Leo. Na hivi ndio walikuwa wanasema, msasa wadanganya toto. Actually, what this headline means is that the committee that is vetting this CS designate is just sanitizing this group. They are not doing their job, and there is nothing serious to expect from this committee. Actually, this is PR. They are just doing this for formalities, but not to seriously vet someone for the job ahead of them. Because Mithika Linturi has been asked a question here on the GMO food, the seed, and everything to do with that. Instead of Mithika Linturi answering the question, how safe is GMO food for consumption in Kenya, he goes ahead to say that human beings have evolved because of GMO. So from, is it Homo erectus, Homo sapien, going like that. And we understand very well the issue to do with GMO. This is, you are crafting cells, you are merging cells that does not come from maybe same plant. It's like you are mixing plant and a human being to have cells. Or if you are taking a different plant, maybe a mango, na una mix na avocado. Actually, you are grafting. So you are merging different cells to speed the growth of that plant. And then Mithika Linturi is trying to compare this to evolution of human being. And when he failed this, the majority leader Kimani Inchung'wah decided to answer the question, and we know very well Kimani Inchung'wah is the majority leader. He has not been appointed for this job. No. So why is he answering the question they are putting on Mithika Linturi, CS for Agriculture designate? Why? The work of Kimani Inchung'wah was to interrogate Mithika Linturi and not to defend him or to defend government plan or policy, because actually the man who is going to implement the government policy here, it is Mithika Linturi and not Kimani Inchung'wah. So what is the reason behind Kimani Inchung'wah defending or answering the questions on behalf of Mithika Linturi? I wanted to listen to this argument because Junet Mohamed was not happy on how Kimani Inchung'wah decided to answer the question instead of Mithika Linturi. So I wanted to listen to Mithika Linturi and Kimani Inchung'wah in their argument, and then we will continue. We will wind up shortly. So listen to this shortly.
Chairman. Point of order, Chair. I doubt whether I'm a product of GMO. I'm a product of my parents.
Sorry. Chair, I think, Chair, the direction we are taking is not being beneficial to the country, because the issues the Honorable Mule is raising on GMO are really not factual. And it is indeed true that the scientist is referring to the French scientist, because I was in the Agriculture Committee in the 11th Parliament, Honorable Speaker. And that scientific information has since been repudiated by other scientists. And therefore, when we are on national TV and we want to make the country believe that GMO is harmful, that there is this science, that the Honorable Mule is not availing to this committee and the country, I think we are not being beneficial. True, Honorable Speaker, if I can finish.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
If I can finish, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it is also...
Mr. Speaker.
He is not finished. Mole, hold your horses.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for that protection, because I was saying we should not use this process, Honorable Speaker, of vetting to try and play to the gallery in terms of demonizing what is otherwise government policy. The Honorable Linturi is not yet Minister for Agriculture, and as members of Parliament we will have the opportunity to interrogate through the relevant committees the issue of GMO. And there is no government policy today that is saying there is no Kenyan farmer or any Kenyan who will be forced by government to either consume or plant GMO food. It is a choice you make. And it is indeed true in America. When you travel to America, you walk into a shop, you have the choice of either buying what is organic or GMO. And I want to believe that will be the policy of government.
Point of order, Chair.
Yes, Junet.
Chairman, I wanted also to bring to your attention that first I want to tell my leader, the majority leader, that he is the majority leader. He is not going to become the Minister for Agriculture for the next 5 years. The man who has a chance of becoming is the nominee ahead of us, if he is approved. I think he is competent enough to answer those questions. Secondly, Chair, the issue of GMO is a government policy. It was approved at the last cabinet meeting of the government. So it is important to interrogate the nominee very well on a government policy that he's going to implement, because he's the implementing authority as the Minister of Agriculture. So, Chair, it's in our place as a committee to know from him, as the man who's going to sell the seeds of the GMO to Kenyans, whether those seeds are safe, what scientists are saying, and what is his thought to make sure that the people who want to eat organic food, and the people who want to eat the GMO, eat GMO food.
Mine was just a point of information, Madam Chair, that the theory of evolution of man, as propagated by Charles Darwin, had nothing to do with the genetic engineering.
We don't even need to go there. He had no scientific basis for saying that, so we don't need to go.
We are continuing with our panel discussion, but just a quick request. You might be watching and you have not yet subscribed, so my humble request, please consider subscribing so that another time, once we release a video like this one, you will always get notified. Again, to all our channel subscribers and anyone who comment, I must say thank you so much for your unconditional support. Again, I'm requesting you to give our video a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend our videos to more viewers. Back to our discussion. Now, having listened to the argument between Mithika Linturi Kimani Inchung'wah, Junet Mohamed, you can get a clear picture. This committee should be disbanded. We don't need it. It has no duty to do here. Let Ruto just appoint his CSS, let them go through, no need vetting, let them just take an oath of office and start working. All these formalities is just waste of time. Even this committee was not very keen to even interrogate on how Mithika Linturi amassed his wealth to 1.2 billion Kenyan shillings. How did you get this? They don't take time to interrogate. The work of National Assembly is to oversight the executive. But seemingly, what I have seen here is a clear indication that this National Assembly, especially from the majority side, they are going to be the puppet of the executive. What we saw Uhuru Kenyatta doing in his tenure as the president is going to repeat itself in William Samoei Ruto's leadership. And in fact, for William Ruto, seemingly, it just might turn out to be the worst. Because how Uhuru was leading here, if you check properly, you are going to realize that anything that Uhuru was coming out with, Duale, na hizo mbio zake, alikuwa anakimbia, kazi yake ni kupitisha tu. Kipchumba Murkomen, we remember how he was rushing with those bills. There was nothing much being done. Uhuru Kenyatta was never oversighted. No one oversighted the executive in the past 10 years. Their work was just to rubber stamp the proposal that was coming from the executive. And Kimani Inchung'wah has shown us very clear he is going to do exactly what Aden Duale was doing in the past 10 years. So expect nothing. In fact, he think like being in a majority side is like you are in the government, which is very wrong. Because in Kenya, we don't have the government and the opposition. We simply have the majority, minority, but their work is one, to oversight the executive. Kimani Inchung'wah is abandoning his role. Instead, he is already doing Mithika Linturi's job. So what will Mithika Linturi do? Thank you. See you in our next video.